Hey guys, I'm SD Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Kind of wanted to discuss with you guys today how excited or non-excited water parks are going to be in Planet Coaster 2 for you. I guess in a way I take it more personal on the water park side just because I've spent so much time kind of like implying water parks in Planet Coaster. That was a big part of my enjoyment and my gaming experience within Planet Coaster is faking water parks. So that's what I say. It's kind of like that is, I think, the first thing that I want to try when we get our hands on the game. The first thing that really interests me is getting in here and particularly doing like a rustic Viking theme water park. Lazy river, slides, big slides, all of that. And from years ago, like I have a track record of building water parks in Planet Coaster. It's always just kind of been my thing. It's what's brought me probably like, almost want to say like my most enjoyment out of the game. Just bringing something in that was never meant to be in the game and trying to make it look halfway believable. So I don't know if I'm going to be like, what's it going to be like now that we're actually going to have a water park designer? Are we still going to be able to push the envelope like we did with Planet Coaster, given that all of these tools are going to be available now, essentially for what we've been faking for the last 8 years? Well, I think like maybe a year, maybe last 6 years, because it was a while before I tried. I played Planet Coaster at the beginning as the actual way it was intended, coaster builder, theme park. But now it's like, you can look at it two ways. Is it going to stifle creativity now that the tools are actually being given to us? Or is it going to accelerate creativity just from the simple fact that with not having to imply and not having to put these things together piece by piece in a way of, I literally mean piece by piece, angles, trying to get all of this stuff molded together to where it looks like a real water slide, even using like silverettes and a bunch of other people that have helped over the years putting water park slides and stuff on the workshop. Are we going to be able to focus maybe more attention on actual in-game detail now that we're not going to have to worry about essentially manipulating the game to make it look like we have water parks? So I think there's like two ways you can look at this. It's I don't want to say it's a double-edged sword, but it could turn out to be, or it could turn out to be completely awesome for the theming side of things, just because your attention is not going to have to be placed so heavily on making pool infrastructure look real, the fighting with the path tool, like all of these little individual pieces of roof tile that you see, not having to put those down to make it look like concrete pool deck, all of those little pieces individually put down. That is going to be available now within the designer, even the plaza part of it, where we're trying to, make the little pathways look larger, where they would be funneling in these large amounts of guests. And I just think this is going to be such an interesting time for a theme park, water park simulation game. Now, not to say that I'm going to just, forget about the theme park side of it and coasters and all that. 100% not going to happen. But my number one priority is going to be to get in here and see how these tools work within this updated version. And I just think, like, you can see right there with the wood supports. I think, like we mentioned, we'll have so much more time to theme it now and work on solely the theming after you get your water slides laid out. I just think that's going to be freaking incredible once we get in here and we're able to actually hopefully get our hands on early access or a demo or a beta, or whatever they let us do. I am definitely up and checking my email every morning. Haven't gotten anything yet, and of course we probably wouldn't be able to say if we did, but I can 100% tell you on July 14th, I do not have access to the game yet, and I am so chomping at the bit to get in here and design with this. But let's, real quick, we'll jump in here to the real-time park, my little water park project, and let's walk around and talk about some things and some things that I want to see, and, you know, hopefully you'll leave some comments on what you want to see. All right, guys, and here we go. And now this is what I was talking about that's going to interest me the most. What if somebody would have come flying down this slide and actually hit this hump and hit their head on the tunnel entrance? I don't think I thought that out really well when I was putting that slide together, because that is almost like a little jump hump. Maybe not. Maybe the water would rush them right down, or this turn would slow them down enough to not hit their head on that tunnel. This one looks okay-ish. It might sling them into a rock, but you know, that is one thing I don't think we're gonna have to worry about with Planet Coaster, because you know, with Planet Coaster 2 is because hopefully there will be systems in place that will keep the little guests from flying out of your slides. What if that ends up being a thing, like with the, you know how with the coaster designer, if you build something too intense or it flies off the edge, what if you would do this right here and the little guest comes flying by and they come flying out of the water slide and you actually have to go in and redesign it? That would be pretty cool. I've not heard any confirmation about that yet, but yeah, this is just so, it's so surreal that it's actually coming. You know, it's like this isn't like a I don't know, it's like, it's almost like it hasn't happened. I'm hoping like the you know, you would think that Frontier would have rolled some more stuff out over the weekend. Hopefully on Monday, hopefully tomorrow, they kind of start trickling out some more stuff, maybe some more teasers or maybe some more screenshots that we don't have yet. I just thought they would maybe they're just kind of letting it rest a little bit now that the big reveal is out of the way, and they're going to kick some things going, kick some dust up when Monday gets here. But you know, one thing that we've gotten like verbal confirmation on, but we haven't actually seen it, is your wave pools. We have heard that those are coming, have not seen those, didn't see them in the little kind of private demo that they did for us. One of the things that concerns me is we have not seen anything other than ladders to get people in and out of the pools. Was kind of hoping that maybe a beach entry would be a thing, or maybe even stairs. But as far as the pools go that we saw in that demo and what you see in the trailer, were exactly the same. No stairs, only ladders. So that is a little interesting. Like, why is that going to be the only way in and out of the pools via Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 style? You know, not a big deal breaker, but as far as realism goes, you know, if you're gonna harp on realism, water parks are really, really big for beach entries now. You know, not only for a kind of like an ADA compliance thing, but just aesthetically, it looks better than just, you know, flat pools that you have to use a ladder to get in and out of. So that is going to kind of be interesting to see kind of how they move forward with that. Another thing I did not see in any of the demos, I don't believe we saw towels. So I don't know if that could be like a source of kind of like guest interaction. I haven't seen anything about lockers yet either. We did see the changing rooms. They showed us that. So your water park guests, they will definitely not be walking around in their little street clothes if they choose to go to the water park side of your park. Because remember, this can be dual. You can have both in your park, and if the little guests that decide to utilize the water parks, you know, side of your theme park, if you're going to have a dual the park, they will go into the changing room and change. I don't know if I hit on that in the previous 2 videos. But yes, changing rooms, they will be a thing. I don't know about little shower stalls. You can see right here, I have like the little implied showers, you know, just in case you wanted to rinse the chlorine off. But I do not remember seeing those yet. So that'll be something else. We'll kind of have to see if it makes its way into the water park section of Planet Coaster 2. As far as the demo goes, I didn't see a lot of variety of foliage. I'm hoping that's something that they really, like if they ask me for feedback, I am definitely going to give us as much foliage as you can. That is a really, really important part of the gaming experience for us, like heavy designers and heavy themers. We are definitely gonna want we're gonna want those flower options. We're gonna want those tree options, rock work, even your mulch work is gonna be pretty important to us. Because even in water parks, the foliage and the mulch is a big part. Just look at Dollywood, like Splash Country, Dollywood's water park. Very, very heavy on the foliage and the trees. Not only from an aesthetic, it looks good standpoint, but to offer that precious shade inside water parks. So people's feet aren't completely burning down the soles of their feet. For me, getting those larger trees, the mature trees in, and providing that little bit of shade as much as you can as far as the paths go, that is, I think that's going to be pretty important, and hopefully they do not skimp on the foliage. But yeah, so if you think of S-Dan and what his first project is going to be in Planet Coaster 2, think this little island right here. This is what I'm going to try to hit on first. I really, really want that, that Disney defunct river country, Dollywood Splash Country, rustic water park theme. Almost like even Pacific Northwest, if you will. Oregon, Washington State water park with the big pine trees. And, that is just my aesthetic. And that is what I want to design with first. I got to get that out of my system before we move on to theme parks or recreations. And I was thinking only coming out with 5 themes at the beginning. A lot of the ideas that I think a lot of us have, like recreations, Epic Universe, Magic Kingdom, stuff like that. That stuff is probably going to have to wait. That is probably going to be a long way down the road, just because you're going to have to wait for a year or 2 of theming and DLCs to come out, probably before you can tackle really any big recreation type projects. So that I would say is going to be the fun part about the first year of Planet Coaster 2. It is going to be everybody's, if you're going to design in the game, it's probably just going to have to be a lot of your own creations and your imagination, and not so much real life recreations. I would assume just with the piece count that is probably going to drop with Planet Coaster 2, the recreations are probably going to have to take a back seat for at least a year, I would say, maybe even 2. If Planet Coaster 2 follows the same cycle as Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster, if you're only looking at DLCs once every 3 months, that doesn't give you many opportunities in the scope of a year, that only gives you like 4 chances to really pile on the theming and what they decide to do. But I'm still holding out hope. I tweeted it a while ago, before we knew anything about Planet Coaster 2, that I'm hoping some more Universal crossover happens. And could you imagine if we got like a Darkmoor, like that is the Dark Universe part of Epic Universe? if Planet Coaster 2 gets a Darkmoor DLC, or essentially a Dark Universe DLC, Super Mario World, Ministry of Magic, you know, some of the things that never came with the original Planet Coaster. Hey, we know they have that universal creative relationship just solely from the fact of the Jurassic World evolution relationship. So I'm hoping we might have to do a video about that. Like if we ever get like an Epic Universe pack that drops, or like I said, if they split it up between the lands, I would probably, you guys wouldn't get any videos from me because I would probably die right here in my chair. But yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of crossovers like that we never saw. Okay, a Transformers DLC. You know, I know it's kind of a little kid-like, but Minions. There's so many ways they could go down that universal IP path, and not to mention the Disney side of things too. I don't know if that would happen. Because it would seem to me like Disney would be like, well, if, you know, we're not really going to get into the mix with you guys if you're using things from other parks. Because, you know, Disney can be a little weird and like anally. They can be a little anal, like, you know, would only want their stuff in a game. You know, they wouldn't want their stuff to be crossed over with other IPs from other entertainment companies. Whereas I think like Universal obviously was a little more flexible, because you remember they had the Planet Coasters work with Carowinds. Remember, we've had the Copperhead Strike crossover. We had what's that one? I can't think of it. It's the knocked everybody's socks off. It was like I think it was a big RMC from a few years ago, from one of the Carowinds parks. I can't believe it's just like blew my mind here. Steel Vengeance, I think it was. Wasn't that? Didn't Planet Coaster have a big Steel Vengeance crossover as well? So it's not beyond Frontier to reach out and do IP work. But, you know, on the scale I'm talking, like an Epic Universe type of scale, I think I would just lose my mind over. But anyways, guys, I am getting way out of the scope of this video. I am just rambling on, and I know you guys don't want to sit here for 25, 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and cut this off. I'll get some more ideas together. I think it's maybe a little premature to start doing Planet Coaster 2 DLC speculation, but you guys let me know if you want to talk about that and give me some DLC ideas, particularly now that we know the game is launching with the 5 themes that we know are coming. You know, maybe it's not premature to speculate about who Frontier may work with on this rebooted franchise. So anyways, guys, let me know down below. I'll talk to you guys later this week. Appreciate it. And yep, I'll see you.